Bonjour, Seydi Mohamed El Cheikh.
Hello, Seydi Mohamed El Cheikh.
La question, c'est que
Your
votre
mission,
mission,
the universal
la
mission
mission
of Imam
universelle d'Imam
al-Mahdi
al-Mahdi
al-Muntazar
al-Muntazar
is a
est une mission
mission
de
of
paix.
peace.
Et
And
aujourd'hui,
today,
le monde
the
est
world is shaken by quarrels
par les
between
querelles
countries,
entre pays,
in
notamment la
particular,
guerre qui sévit
the war
actuellement entre
between Ukraine
l'Ukraine
and
et la
Russia.
Russie.
We would
Donc,
like
nous
to
aimerions
know your
savoir quel
opinion
est
on
votre
this
avis sur ce
matter.
point.
MashaAllah, Hajj Malik. I'm saluting you as well as your team Medina Sheikh TV. I think you asked a question that is currently trending in the news. The war between Russia and Ukraine. Maybe we can call it a war. We can also call it an invasion, or use another vocabulary. My point of view on this matter is that the Westerners now have started to prioritize what is called conflict of interest. Currently, this is what we're witnessing with the Westerners. Because I believe if Russia didn't have any interest towards Ukraine, then perhaps what has been happening these couple of days could have been avoided. I also believe that if Ukraine had a different posture and set aside its own interest, then we wouldn't be discussing this topic. Now, since this quarrel happened, I will be speaking as a Muslim. I will be speaking as a missionary. There's nowhere around the world, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, or another country, in which a worthy Muslim will wish war in those territories or in those parts of the world. So no one wishes war. No one appreciates it and no one wants war. Whenever there is a war, regardless of the actors and conflicts of interests involved, we pray for a settlement in peace. We pray for a dialogue in which there will be an agreement benefiting both countries without having to utilize weapons, all while settling the issue responsibly. As for the conflict of interest, the actors have to negotiate for the interests of both countries without destroying countries or killing innocent people. Because if you've noticed, most people losing their lives are civilians. Nevertheless, as a missionary of Islam, okay, we can talk about the war in Russia and Ukraine, but also we should have talked about the previous wars. There should have been talks about the destruction of Iraq. There should have been talks about the Muslims who were killed in Iraq. And when these incidents happened, majority of the Westerners were just watching. There should have been talks about Syria. There should have been talks about Libya. But above all, there should have been talks about the people of Palestine and how they are being killed while Westerners were watching. So I think we can deplore the war between Russia and Ukraine. We can pray so there is peace between them. But as a whole, we should look at ourselves, because there were many wars that previously concerned us and the religion of Islam, and those wars didn't have the same attention and magnitude as this one. The people of Palestine are being killed every day. Each day they witness their territory being taken, while Westerners sit and watch. How many Muslims have died in Iraq? I'm not just talking about a war, but Iraq was destroyed. The same destruction also happened in Libya. Wars just didn't happen in countries representing Islam, but there were massive destructions. And when every one of those events happened, unfortunately, the Westerners were sitting back watching. So maybe if they had this same posture of this war in Ukraine for the previous wars, when Iraq and Libya were being destroyed, or when the people of Palestine were suffering, then I think Allah in His decrees would make this world peaceful. But as you can see, we live in a world of double standards. Everybody is talking about Ukraine deploring their situation, and at the same time, the people of Palestine are being bombed, Muslims are getting killed, while not one person is addressing this issue. That's why I'm saying, yes, I'm deploring this war between Russia and Ukraine, even though I know it's about conflicts of interest. But what I am deploring even more is the killing of Muslims around the world.
I'm going to bounce back from your response about your mission as a guide of peace. We would like to know your position on the situation in Mali, that is to say, the embargo which was decreed by the West African Economic Monetary Union, African brothers sanctioning their own African brothers, who are also Muslims. What is your viewpoint on this issue?
Mashallah, on this issue, I think everyone who listens to me have heard me deplore the situation. They have heard me deplore the embargo. Mali, as a Senegalese, the Malians are our brothers, same as Ivory Coast, brothers of our country Senegal. The Malians are our brothers. Whatever the problems, whatever the interests, we should not use the CDAO or any other African organization to impose an embargo to a brother country with whom we share everything. I am not the only one to deplore it, but any African, anyone who hopes one day for the development of Africa, is against this embargo towards our brothers Malians. Now that this embargo has happened, we should find ways to create situations that can bring back stability in the sub-regions so that the sanction against Mali, namely the embargo, can be lifted, enabling us to continue to coexist as neighbors and also allowing everyone to freely move in and out of the borders without any hassle. Really, personally, I publicly support the Malian people. And I am against this sanction because I feel Senegalese, I feel Malian, I feel Guinean, I feel Ivorian, mashallah.